CodeSprintX, defining the next era.
Okay, dear ladies and gentlemen, up next is a team that's redefining the way we engage with reading in the digital age, in the today's world. So, they saw the struggle of neurodiverse learners and questions the outdated tools and build a solution that blends AI, visuals, and voice into one powerful platform. So let's give a huge round of applause to the change makers behind the inclusive, innovative team, Visualit from Informatics Institute of Technology. Welcome on stage, the team Visualit. Welcome team Visualit to the CodeSprint Grand Finale. So how do you feel the journey that you come across with the CodeSprintX?
So we've had a lot of good experience with CodeSprint. We've had a really good platform to bring out our idea and market it better using this platform.
Yeah, thank you for that amazing words. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the stage is for the team Visualit from Informatics Institute of Technology.
Team Visualit is presented here with an interesting idea. So now, let's have a quick look at it. Reading is an essential skill, yet neglected. Now, let's roll back to the life of the kid who was always scolded and blamed from everyone from his circle for not reading. And when that kid grew up, so he passed the trauma without realizing it. Then that kid understood that there was something missing on this. So reading, as I said, it's the essential skill. So that kid was thinking what he could do, and then they wanted a solution for this global issue. So they were trying to come up with something nice. So when you look at these words, do you feel like reading it, or else do you feel that you get carried away? But when you look at this visualization, don't you regret that I could have just read it? Because that looks appealing, and you get that urge to know what the author would have, author's perspective. So the biggest problem in the EPUB market, the thing is engagement, immersiveness, entertainment. A big no for all three. And we always regretted that trauma, the kid what he had. So isn't there a solution for this?
Our solution is Visualit, a reading sensation. A reading sensation that we want to bring through our AI-powered ebook reader that brings stories to life. So, how exactly do we bring stories to life? We bring stories to life using three main features: character and scene visualizations, immersive audiobooks, and then an enhanced reading UI with integrated dictionary. Rather than just boring you with words, let me show you how that happens. So, welcome to Visualit. This is an application that we have built that has a clean and friendly UI that even a kid could use. So, let's get into a storybook, shall we? So, in a storybook, an author creates the characters and scenes with exquisite details, bringing the stories to life. But not everyone can understand that. This is a barrier for struggling readers. We wanted to bridge that barrier and then create visualizations. So this is a visualization. How this helps is, for someone, for a struggling reader, for a kid who doesn't want to read, this might spark their interest to start reading. For a dyslexic individual who might have trouble stringing words together, stringing characters together, stringing scenes together, this might help them start reading and string those characters and scenes together. We also have a reading UI that works with this and provides the user with a reading interface that is both customizable and distraction free. We don't exactly stop at visuals. We go beyond and give the auditory experience as well. So, what our audiobook differs from the market is basically we provide audiobooks with distinct voices for each one of the voice actors, giving it a bit more immersive and expressive audiobook environment. So, how exactly do we do this? We have a cutting edge technology that's based on a bunch of AI agents working together to create these magical experiences. And we also have a backend that ensures us security and scalability, allowing us more users in the future. So, you might be wondering, how exactly does the market look like for this? Imad?
Yes, Rakib. So starting up with Sri Lanka, it's going to be 1 million serviceable market, and annually it's going to be claiming 185,000. Globally, we have a reach of 500,000 users and 34.9 million annual recurring revenue. Going on with that, we have the business model. So the monthly subscriptions are going to be $5.99, and also there's going to be a freemium subscription as well. And also we are introducing a marketplace where they can buy their own ebooks, $4.99 to up to $9.99. And also we are planning on to collaborate with authors and publishers. The main thing is our financial projections. So the main cost structure is going to be the GPU service, cloud hosting, and marketing. The main revenue stream is subscriptions, marketplace, collaborations. They are the ones who are going to be the key contributors to our revenue. If you see our 3-year infrastructure, for the first 2 years, it's going to be a net negative due to our investing growth and infrastructure. And from the year 3 onwards, we are seeing a net positive due to, for the past 2 years, we are going to be creating, at least if you consider 1 book per day, it's going to be 700 odd books created. So we don't need any extra additional cost for those creations. So it can be reduced in our generation cost. So the next question you guys might be wondering, why us?
Exactly, why us? So here, when we come to this slide, so we know that image generation, audiobook, neurodiverse UI, reading integration, it's already there. But we bring everything in one full package and let you experience it. And our milestone, we did our first MVP, and then we have put our app for A/B testing on 5 days back. So we had multiple testimonials, and here comes it. So our team was able to understand the core problem about that kid. That kid was not able to read. He was struggling to read, but no one around him understood that that kid was struggling to read. But our team understood that, and they had the vision that build something good, explain it to people, and people will come to it. So we knew the biggest global problem what everyone faces. So this global issue is not something which is done for that kid. And realizing it, he took it to the next generation. We want to come to a stop for that and join us. And we ask the help for the collaboration with the contributors, because that's the hardest part what we have. So then we can bring good books into our application and make this more better.
Okay, thank you, Team Visualit, for that amazing pitch, and seems like kind of amazing project that they are proposing to us. So, judges, is there any questions from your side?
Team, what an absolutely amazing product that you've developed. Like, neurodivergency affects over 15% of the population globally. So, making a huge change to that population is going to have a huge impact. I love what you've done there with the ability to actually take a story and visualize it. Has there been any thought to look at some of the modern teaching mechanisms like UFly and integrating that into the product to help people then be able to then not only visually but also be able to then improve their reading?
There has been none. We haven't that well equipped it. We are mostly working with local teachers who are in the special needs sector, but we haven't exactly gone to an international stage where reading might be more advanced. So mostly it's just local for now.
Yeah, so one of the things is maybe to sort of look at UFly, which has now become the international standard in regards to modern reading and teaching mechanisms and how you overlay that there. The other thing I think the opportunity is to work with a number of the modern publishers like Lulu, for example. So, you know, taking advantage of their marketplaces so that you're integrated directly with those as new books get published through that platform.
Yes, we are planning for integrating with like a lot of marketplaces to bring their books into our marketplace and sell them.
And one feature, what we are in the MVP, so here we are focusing the application for the kids. So we are trying to make it a kids-based learning. And we are bringing the AI feature, it's on our next development, we are doing the testing. So that you can talk with the character and the character would respond to it. For example, if it's from Harry Potter, you're asking Harry, what happened to you? So Harry would narrate the story. Then kids get more interacted and comes inside to this. Then we were planning to come with this and go for the collaboration with everyone. Then that would have a boom in our market too.
First one is that, see, you're trying to bring in visual aids to reading. How do you link that with reading? Are you trying to substitute reading or are you trying to encourage reading?
We are trying to encourage reading. So basically for struggling readers, so the most hardest part of a book is basically character and scene descriptions. So authors put their best in writing those characters to bring them to life, but not everyone understands it basically. They use a lot of foreign terms and foreign words that not everyone can understand. For example, a local like me might not understand foreign concepts in somewhere like, let's say Germany, if they say something like their own rules or something. So we provide a visualization that helps them understand and go beyond the words and experience the storybook as well.
Okay, thank you. Next question is, how did you arrive at $1 million serviceable market in Sri Lanka?
So we went through statistics based on our research, and then we sort of looked at the total book market in Sri Lanka, and then we looked at the percentages of ebook and traditional books, and then we sort of calculated the total addressable market based on the percentage.
Great, thank you.
Great idea. I wanted to know what was the inspiration for you guys to come up with it?
So basically, I'm a reader. So this idea was wholly based on a book. So the recent versions of Harry Potter has an illustration on top of the chapter. So I thought, why not everywhere? Why not all books have this? And then I pitched that idea to my mother, who is a special needs educator. So she gave me the idea that this could be more helpful for dyslexic individuals, people with aphantasia, people with ADHD who have trouble staying in the books. So through these visual aids, they can also start reading and improve their reading.
All right, great. Now, let's take Harry Potter, right? Not every book has the visualization. So how do you take a book, and there's sometimes 300 pages of that, how do you bring in the visualization? Can you talk through a little bit about it? You can't visualize every part of it, right? And can you talk through the technology of how you're doing that?
Sure. So we have a pipeline that basically gets the chapter from a book. So we do the generations based on chapter, because chapters are the ones that have the most differences. Like, for example, a character might be young in one chapter, old in another chapter. So based on character, based on chapter, we generate the visualizations. So what we do is we pass the chapter into an NLP pipeline to generate the NER basically. The entities, find out what entities are specified in the book, and then using that, we create a prompt using an LLM. So using these prompts, and then we also use the older prompts, older images, and then using these all, we create newer prompts for image generations, and then we use the image generation model to generate all the images.
We have the system architecture diagram there. So that's how even the audiobook has been done. So both are explained through the
Yeah,
architecture.
since we have the distinct voices for each of the characters, both chapters get passed through an NLP to find the entities, basically the characters and scenes, and then we assign descriptors based on the descriptions provided in the book. That the NLP process helps us a lot. And then we create prompts, we create SSML, so basically pitch, tones, based on how they sound, how their characteristics are, and then we create the audiobooks and generations based on the visualizations based on them.
Yeah, that's good. You're using speech synthesis markup
Yes.
language, right? That tells you, it gets you away from the whole monotone and all of that. Yeah, it looks like you put in some thought and it's good. The other thing was you said Sri Lanka market, right? Now, what you're doing is you're building an app that's going to potentially be on a marketplace. So you shouldn't be thinking Sri Lanka. More Sri Lankan families will not put in the money to buy this stuff, but someone else in a developed country will take this a little bit more seriously. But you can test it out with, you said your mother's a teacher in this area, right? So that's a really great place for you to test this out. But your strategy has to be, it's something for the global market. Do you have any images that you can show? How many books have you done this with?
So for now, we have tested it on a bunch of books for this UI. So we had two versions of the application basically. So for this UI, we only have the generated visuals for one book.
Now, if you take a book, right, it has copyright protection and all of that. If you take that stuff, put the content into an LLM, generate the images out, are there copyright laws and stuff like that you've looked at?
Yes. So how copyright works is, so basically how the books come into our application is basically either it's user uploaded or bought from a marketplace. User uploaded books, users are liable for any copyright issues, things that they go through. But marketplaces, we specify how we take our books in. So how we exactly attract our producers and authors is basically by marketing the fact that we can generate visualizations for them. So from a sort of agreement, we take those books in.
All right, great. Good stuff, guys.
So I can see that this is going to be super effective for fiction books. Has there been any testing on non-fiction books to see how effective that visual communication can be?
Another thing is we are doing a research on the importance of reading. So when we were coming through that, the non-fiction book, the people, how much they read, and everything was less. So we were targeting only for the fiction book because it's kids. They have to come into the market. When they start reading it, after that they'll start reading it. So we are trying to bring the habit of reading, which is being vanished. So we have only tested it for the non-fiction books right now.
And to be honest, it wouldn't work a lot better on non-fiction books because fiction books have much more imagery than non-fiction books.
So there should be a lot of descriptors to come up with the visualization.
Okay, once again, thank you, judges, for that amazing questions and the ideas that you've given for the team. So thank you, Visualit, for joining us with the CodeSprintX Grand Finale.